Hello friends, welcome back to Learning Nails and Aesthetics. We are in the Milady Cosmetology book, chapter 11, Hair Cutting, the chapter glossary. Keep in mind I am not AI, so mistakes will be made. Also check out my other videos, the Milady Nails book, their aesthetics book, their foundations book is a companion book to all of their books. So that one is a must. YouTube having some problems if you come across a video that says the content is currently unavailable or the comments are turned off, refreshing the page should fix that issue. Also, if you see videos that you're not necessarily interested in, keep watching because there probably is something that will interest you, or give me some suggestions. Oh my goodness, some suggestions in the comments. Anything that you would like to learn more about. I have videos on unboxing various polish brands, swatching colors, and some other fun things. Temu unboxing, nail stickers, charms, that kind of thing. All right, let's get started. Chapter Glossary. Angle. Space between two lines or surfaces that intersects at a given point. Beveling. Haircutting technique using diagonal lines by cutting hair ends with a slight increase or decrease in length. Blunt haircut, also known as one-length haircut, haircut in which all the hair comes to one hanging level, forming a weight line or area. Hair is cut with no elevation or over direction. Carving, haircutting technique done by placing the steel blade into the hair, resting it on the scalp, and then moving the shears through the hair while opening and partially closing the shears. Cast shears. Shears made by pouring molten steel into a mold. Clipper over comb. Haircutting technique similar to shear over comb, except that the clippers move side to side across the comb rather than bottom to top. Cross-checking. Parting the haircut in the opposite way from which you cut it in order to check for precision of line and shape. Cutting line, also known as finger angle, finger position, cutting position, or cutting angle, angle at which the fingers are held when cutting, and ultimately the line that is cut. Diagonal back, type of diagonal line that creates movement away from the face. Diagonal forward, type of diagonal line that creates movement toward the face. Distribution, where and how hair is moved over the head. Effilating, also known as slithering, process of thinning the hair to graduated lengths with shears. Cutting the hair with a sliding movement of the shears while keeping the blades partially opened. Elevation, also known as projection or lifting, the degree at which a subsection of hair is held or lifted from the head when cutting. Fade. Fade line blended from short to long with clippers or shear over comb technique. Finger angle, also known as a cutting position. Cutting angle using degrees, cutting line, finger position angle at which the fingers are held when cutting the line that creates the end shape. Can be horizontal, vertical, or diagonal. Forged shears, made via a process of working metal to a finished shape by hammering or pressing, more durable than cast shears. Freehand notching, cutting technique in which pieces of hair are snipped out at random intervals. Freehand slicing, haircutting technique used to release weight from the subsection, allowing the hair to move more freely. Graduated haircut, slow or immediate buildup of weight, an effective or haircut that results from cutting the hair with tension, low to medium elevation or over direction. Graduation, elevation that occurs when a section is lifted above 0 degrees. Growth pattern, direction in which the hair grows from the scalp, also referred to as natural fall or natural falling position. Guideline, also known as guide, section of hair located either at the perimeter or the interior of the cut that determines the length the hair will be cut, usually the first section that is cut to create a shape. Hairline, hair that grows to the outermost perimeter along the face, around the ears, and on the neck. Horseshoe section, separates the head at the parietal ridge to below the crown, enhances control when layering or graduating hair. Interior guideline, inner or internal line of a haircut. Layered haircut, cutting hair with elevation or over direction. Hair is cut at higher elevation, usually 90 degrees or above. Removes weight. Layers, create movement and volume in hair by releasing weight. Line, thin, continuous mark used as a guide. Can be straight or curved, horizontal, vertical, or diagonal. Long layered haircut. Hair is cut at a 90-degree elevation, then over directed to maintain length and weight at perimeter. Notching, hair cutting technique, version of point cutting. Tips of shears are moved toward the ends rather than into them, creating chunkier effect. Over direction, combing section away from its natural falling position toward a guideline, used to increase length in interior or perimeter. Palm to palm, cutting position in which palms of both hands are facing each other. Part or parting, line dividing the hair at scalp, separating one section of hair from another, creating subsections. Perimeter guideline, outer line of a haircut. Pivoting section, also referred to as pie-shaped section, rotates from a central point, used for layering and graduating. Point cutting, hair cutting technique in which the tips of the shears are used to cut points into the ends of the hair. Profile section, center forehead to center nape, divides head in two sections, right and left profile, facilitates subsectioning. Radial section, section that is taken from ear to ear and divides the head from front to back, starting behind the apex in the crow. I think that's supposed to say in the crown. Razor over comb, texturizing technique in which the comb and the razor are used on the surface of the hair. Razor rotation, texturizing technique similar to razor over comb, done with small circular motions. Section, to divide the hair by parting into uniform working areas for control. During hair cutting, the working areas of the hair working in smaller sections gives better control. Shear over comb, also known as scissor over comb, hair cutting technique in which the hair is held in place with the comb while the tips of the shears are used to remove length. Shrinkage, when hair contracts or lifts through the action of moisture loss or drying. Slicing, hair cutting technique that removes weight and adds movement through the length of the hair. The shears are not completely closed, and only the portion of the blade near the pivot is used. Slide cutting, Method of cutting or layering the hair, in which the fingers and shears glide along the edge of the hair to remove length. Stationary guideline. Guideline that does not move. Subsections. Smaller sections with a larger section of hair. Within. Sorry, that word is pretty important. Smaller sections within a larger section of hair, used to maintain control of the hair while cutting. Taper. Hair cutting effect in which there is an even blend from very short at the hairline to longer lengths as you move up the head. To taper is to narrow progressively at one end. Tension. Amount of pressure applied when combing and holding a section, created by stretching or pulling the section. Texturizing. Haircutting technique designed to remove excess bulk without shortening the length, changing the appearance or behavior of the hair through specific haircutting techniques using shears, thinning shears, or a razor. Traveling guideline, also known as movable guideline, guideline that moves at the haircutting as the haircutting progresses, often used when creating layers or graduation. Uniform layers. Hair is elevated at 90 degrees from the scalp and cut at the same length. Weight line. Visual line in the haircut where the ends of the hair hang together. And we will start chapter 12 in part 3, hair services, hair styling in the Milady Cosmetology book in the next video. I hope this was helpful to you. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Any suggestions would be great. If there's something that you'd like to learn more about. And have a great day. Thanks. Love you. Bye.